Not bad. Not bad.
There it was.
That
was the intro.
That's the whole thing.
That sure was.
I think it was the last time you were on here. It was the old intro music.
Probably.
I also probably didn't play it for you.
I do not recall it in any shape or form.
All right.
So.
It's only 11 seconds, so.
An encoding error occurred while recording. It's taking too long to encode.
So we're not even recording?
Apparently not.
Fantastic.
That's unfortunate.
That's interesting. I wonder why that is. Huh. Hold on, guys.
I look so lonely over here.
Oh, technical difficulties. Output, recording. Let's try that one.
What is? I don't know the code.
It makes it work.
Okay. It's magic.
That sounds right to me.
That was Callie's mic, huh?
It was, yeah.
What?
You're a quiet talker.
I guess so. Yeah, you've literally never said that to me before.
This is a new way to talk to each other, isn't it? I can hear your mouth making noises. It's not an experience.
All right, and that's a wrap on the podcast, guys.
I think the podcast hasn't even started yet because
It
we weren't
probably
recording
hasn't.
for the first
I
5 minutes.
I think this is a
So we have to hear that intro song.
perfect theme for your
have to
podcast.
get to.
We get to hear that intro song again?
There it is.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to record all the way through this time?
No.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to record
That's
at all this
interesting.
time.
You know, it might just not.
It seems like it is.
Is it?
This is the first time because yesterday, I got the 2 cameras.
Yesterday?
Nope. And had them for almost half a decade, over half a decade for one of them.
Reliable.
He's been painstakingly taking pictures of all of his podcasts and uploading them frame by frame to make a
I
video.
do stop motion.
Yep.
You should just go to Claymation for your podcast.
listen. But I got 2 4K 30 FPS capture cards.
My favorite.
So the other day was the first day that we tried to do dual camera 4K, and then I realized that I just accidentally left OBS in 1080p.
How could you?
Because I'm an idiot.
Those are words I understand.
So today is the first true 4K attempt, and clearly we're running into some issues. Because
Is it
seems
recording?
Like it's going.
Allegedly.
It's going.
I mean, it's doing
But
something.
one of us is in 1080p.
No, we're
you were
still
saying
in
that
4K.
was last time.
I just changed the encoder. I should probably re-sync it at some point. We'll do it at the end. I'll forget. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. So what do you guys want to talk about? This is a little bonus episode of
Isn't
JJTI.
it like your
So-
job to come up with a piece of paper
Yeah,
that has
you don't have
topics
a
on
little list of
No.
things.
it?
Okay.
Great.
We should talk about how, well, I don't know if we can say this actually because people might get offended, but I think we should talk
Ooh.
about how New York is worse than Ohio.
Just in general?
Can
or...
you just?
I think New York is the worst state.
He actually talked about this for about an hour on our road trip up here.
I'm obviously biased because my only experience in New York is driving through New York.
Right.
But driving through New York is the worst experience of any state that you can drive through.
Very specifically New York City.
Jersey
And the
Turnpike.
adjacent area.
New Jersey Turnpike into New York, George Washington Bridge, all of the bits leading into Connecticut is terrible.
We had a heck of a time. Can we swear?
No, you are not allowed to swear. We can swear. You can't.
Okay, we had a heck of a time
It's a sexist thing.
in usually is in Connecticut specifically.
Right out of New York, yeah.
Right out of New York actually was the worst experience we've probably had.
So not only were there insanely high winds, probably 35, 40 miles an hour anyway.
There's a flare
but
in the road.
There was just a flare in the middle of the road, somebody had broken down and then forgot that they had a lit flare. and drove off.
Who has?
I don't know.
Can I question?
Mm-hmm.
Do any of you have a flare in your car for if you break down?
I don't think so.
That's
But it's
like
not a weird thing to have.
so. Actually, funny story. Here's a weird tangent. While you were at your parents', I was with my mom, and we saw an infomercial on TV because my mom watches live TV, and it was for this like flare device that you put on top of your car if it breaks down. But at the end of the infomercial, they were like, "And just so you know, we stopped producing them. So if you call, you may not get one."
Limited quantity. Order now.
No, it was literally like we have stopped making them. By the time this commercial
Why?
airs, if you want one, we might not have one. I'm not even joking. It was like this like green hexagon thing, and
Yeah, I've
they
seen
were
those.
just like,
They're
oh,
LED lights or whatever.
sure. And it was basically like, oh, we're gonna talk about our product a lot and make it seem great. But by the way, everyone hated it, and we stopped making it.
Yeah, apparently it doesn't really work.
Whoopsie.
I guess it. I don't know. It was, anyways.
Well, this flare worked,
It was a real flare.
and it was continuing to work for who knows how long. It was bright and lit up. It was raining.
There's a lot of debris in the road.
Anyway, so very soon after the flare, we came up on this guy or person, they, them,
it looked like a little old guy.
Probably a human person, though.
human more. Well, it's hard to tell nowadays.
Drove
you
like
know.
a dog drinking a coffee
Zuckerberg is,
I've never given
on Instagram.
I've never given a dog coffee, so I wouldn't know.
Zuckerberg is believable, but we know he's reptilian, so like it's hard to.
I don't know if you can say that on here.
Is he gonna sue us?
He is.
You
An
might make
avid
some
listener.
people mad. Yeah.
Zuckerberg
is an
listens
avid
to.
listener.
He's actually the
our
number one Patreon subscriber.
Patreon, yeah, he gives us $1 a month.
Damn, that's pretty low on his budget, huh?
Well, you know,
Yeah.
he's got a lot of stuff going on. Meta
Well,
is kind of tanking
nice.
right now.
It's nice that he's reaching out to the up and coming people.
We are the number one podcast in
this apartment. Yeah.
Yeah. Not just in this unit, in
Right.
this building.
Yeah.
That's solid.
I think.
Maybe not
Well,
the
yeah, I guess.
block, but
We don't know for sure.
Well, everybody else on this blog is busy making meth, so.
okay. Well, I would listen to that podcast.
Well, they don't do any podcasts
should-
about making meth.
you
It's
should
usually about
definitely-
like B or C movies.
You should definitely interview all of the meth people.
I don't want to get stabbed.
all of the meth maker people.
They might not stab you.
Might not.
I feel like that's a lot of work on their part.
If you
To stab me?
I think
Yeah.
if,
No, I'm not going to
if
put
you
up a
went
fight.
to them with the idea that you'd be like praising their work and like
Oh, I just lied to them like Joe Rogan does.
Sponsor.
yeah,
Sponsor them.
Okay. Like give them more meth or less meth?
No.
What
Just
version
like
of sponsor?
don't give them.
promote
They're
their
making
business.
meth. You don't need to give them meth.
No. Just promote their business.
I think
Try it all.
You should have like a tier
Okay.
list.
Find
You
the
should have a
best
tier
one.
list of Augusta
Find out
meth
who makes
makers.
the best meth.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. These
Anyway.
are all ideas.
Anyway,
Just business startups. Nothing like official. Ideas.
I feel like if I let a meth head into my apartment, they would take one or both of my cameras and all of my audio equipment.
And they'd probably sell it for way less than it's worth too.
Yeah, there's about $10,000 worth of equipment in this room.
meth ASMR is a possibility as well.
Interesting.
That is
Well,
an option. But anyways, Connecticut.
Yeah, so we came
Little
up on
old man.
Yeah, we came up on this guy in like some weird like kind of luxury sedan thing, and he had his hazards on. So we slowed down. We figured it was just like typical highway shit.
He's scared.
Yeah, like
It was a little
he just
rainy,
had his
but
hazards on, and like some people put their hazards on in the rain. We didn't really think too much of it. But one of the people that we were driving next to attempted to pass this car, and the dude just swerved in front of him.
not
Yeah.
like swerved, like full on went in front of
Yeah,
him.
just like
Right.
basically stopped him from passing. So we were like, what? That's a little weird. So like Callie was half asleep, so like she was, starting to perk up at this point. I was like, this dude's doing some weird shit. Like you should watch this. It's pretty entertaining.
Hmm.
And
Interesting.
yeah. So eventually he swerves back into his own lane, and the dude that he blocked passes him. So we're coming up on him, and he's, going.
He's not doing
He's going
okay.
like 80 miles an hour, and then he's going like 25 miles an hour.
Yep.
And he's still just like kind of swerving all over.
But
the place.
like
We're
he's
what
also
the
still
fuck?
getting into the left lane, almost hitting the
Yeah,
guardrail,
so we-
and then going immediately into the breakdown lane on the right side. Like,
so we try to pass him because I'm like, I don't want to be anywhere near this dude.
One of those situations.
And he cuts us off. So I'm like,
just like for no, like it doesn't make any sense.
So Callie's like, what's his license plate?
No. I said honk your horn.
So I laid on the horn for.
Because like he's like halfway in our lane while we're trying to pass. So I was like, okay, well if he's like being drunk and stupid, just let him know I want to go. You know what I mean? I don't want to be around him anymore.
Let him know he's being drunk and stupid.
Yeah. I mean, it's outside of New York. I'm not like expecting like great drivers.
Yeah.
So I was just like, whatever.
So we laid on the horn for a long time, and he didn't really react at all. So we decided that we were gonna build up some speed and just fly by him.
Except he's going faster than us now.
Yeah, he's just speeding up.
He's going like not probably over 100.
Okay, so we get in front of him, and we're just like, he's behind us, so we're not even thinking about him anymore, like in the sense of having to avoid him or anything.
But then we see he has a headlight out.
Yeah. So we're like, we just can't stop thinking about him.
Right.
You know, we're just like, what?
Well, because I passed
what was going on?
And I did that thing I do because I'm like, I don't know what my problem is, but I get my camera out and I take a video of his license plate and a video of him as we're driving by, so he knows I'm like recording him. So maybe he's like, oh shit, I'm being stupid, I'll stop. You know what I mean? Just like, maybe that's like a stupid thing to do, but I was like, maybe.
I think that it is a good idea to have video evidence of the person who might crash into you.
Yes, and I was like, well, maybe if he sees that, he'll realize he's being stupid too, and then it won't go any further.
Well,
you know what I mean?
It's a good tactic too, because you separate the rational people from the irrational people as well, because the irrational person's not going to stop.
That's.
Yeah. Or they'll think, I need to destroy that camera.
Yeah, exactly. I need to.
This was
to
his
take care of that. That's completely rational, by the way.
So
that would be my plan.
Yeah.
So I do that and whatever. We're driving by and we see his headlight out, and we're already talking about maybe calling like highway patrol. There's no other cars around, and I was like, do you think we should? And it was like, yeah, I would.
Well, so I was just like, I feel like
I'm not good with making phone calls, so I'm sitting there like, do you think we should?
Something absolutely is gonna happen. Like this guy is.
There's something going on.
He's going to crash himself or crash somebody else.
It got to the point where we could see him behind us from far away,
still
doing
blocking
swerving.
people.
Right.
So we were like, all right, we'll call whatever.
Well, so I pulled over and I let him pass, and I got behind him again.
No. That was not that point yet. We called.
There's too much ADHD right now.
No. We called highway patrol, talked to them, whatever, and then you let him pass us. I gave him the license plate number and everything.
Yeah, no, you're right, because we had to review the Snapchat video to find the license plate. So yeah, we stopped after we had called the police and pulled over, because obviously we want to see the guy get pulled over, right?
Yeah, that's like part of the story.
The drama.
So we start following him, and like 10 minutes goes by. Like we've probably driven like 15 miles, and there's no cop in sight. We passed one that was like blocking part of the road, and he didn't take any notice. So the dude starts swerving all over the place again, and I thought it was a good idea. It was a bad idea.
It was a really bad idea.
I thought it was a good idea to just like, you know, get up next to him and kind of like honk at him and like give him like the what the fuck.
Well, because it was like maybe he was like trying to get help, because I saw it was like a little old person, so I was like, maybe he's like confused and he's like trying to get help from someone, like that's why he's cutting people off.
Right.
Like, so he was like, well, if I get in front of him,
in
interesting way of doing
if it's like
that.
a little old person with like dementia, maybe they don't know what's going on.
Right.
So
I
he
would
gets
stop
in
the car though.
Yeah, but like, how are you going to get people going 80 miles an hour to stop for you?
No, like if I was the person doing
you may as well
that.
just use your car.
Well, he gets in front of the person and like puts his hazards on, puts his blinker on high beams, and starts pulling over to like let the guy know, hey, if you need help, I'm pulling over.
Well,
if you need help.
I put my blinker on and I started slowing down in front of him, and he started slowing down behind me, and he kind of moved over to the side with me, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be fine. I'll be able to talk to him. We can try to figure out what's going on.
Also, don't want to talk to a stranger outside of New York,
don't either.
by the way.
I don't either.
Like, what the
but like, also like, I'll take the bullet if it's gonna stop him from wrecking multiple people.
Right.
Or, you know.
Well, there's a lot of people around us at this point.
Yeah.
We had just passed that broken down tree with the state trooper too.
Right.
So
we get down to probably like 5 or 10 miles an hour, and then he just decides that he no longer wants to stop or pull over, and misses our car by
an inch.
A very small amount, inches, like almost like invisible to the eye.
Right.
Like how close he was.
Like had you had your hand out the window or
I would have
something.
touched him, absolutely. Yeah. And
well, when he's doing that, we see the entire right side of his car is wrecked.
Right.
The gone.
the front end of his car is completely gone. He has one headlight and the rest is just gone.
So I immediately called 911 because I was like, I feel like when he got on the road, he had part of his car.
And somehow,
his car was whole when he got on the road.
When we called 911, because we called the sheriff's department the first time.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Or something. But then we
got
called
the same
911 and we
dispatcher.
ended up getting the same guy.
He's
So
like, oh,
like
yeah,
he was
you
like,
guys?
"Oh, it's you guys?" Like, you already called this in, right?
Like,
I was like, "Well, yeah, it's worse now, and we can see that he has damage to his car."
yeah, and he's like swerving towards us, so I'm like making dramatic noises in the passenger
And we went
seat.
over a pothole, so like it kind of sounded like.
Well, he hit a really bad pothole, so I went, oh shit, and the guy went, oh no, okay, we're gonna find someone,
Yeah.
and I was like,
perfect timing, yeah. So he's like, "We'll find somebody," and like right before I hang up with him, we come up on another cop on the side of the road. So I just like start honking my horn. I'm like, "I think we have a trooper with us. Like, we just came up on one. Like, just to let you know, whatever." So he's pulled over with his lights on because there's like trees down all over the place, and you know, he's just trying to prevent people
this
from
guy
running over
still has
bullshit.
his hazards on in front of us, and he's swerving in front of this trooper with his lights on.
Yeah.
So
The trooper starts following us. He flies past us and gets behind this dude and follows him for another 5 miles probably. And then he eventually turns on his lights and pulls this guy over.
And we will never get.
We'll never know what actually happened, but
We'll never get that closure.
I've always been tempted to, you know,
If we
just
called
call
911
back.
and we were like, hey, was
Call
it
back
Juz?
and be like, "Hey, did I help?"
Can you just like
But-
tell
Tell me
us?
I'm a hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me that I am a hero. I would
Can
like
you-
a medal, please.
I am the honorary sheriff.
Do we get a punch card?
Yep.
I think you're legally allowed to shoot somebody now.
Yeah,
That's probably true.
every 4 criminals you catch, you get a get out of jail free card, I believe.
I just wanted a police escort
is-
up to Maine. I was so fucking over it at that point.
Which is
dude.
why police officers never get caught.
Well, they do, but that's only when they have 3.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They don't have to get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
It happens, you know.
They should have just waited it out, man.
Listen, sometimes you get angsty.
Well,
You know, I've played Monopoly. I know what
try
it's
not
like.
to.
It
Sometimes
is
you
a
got to make that
very angsty
make
game.
it go for it. You know, got to get Boardwalk. I haven't played Monopoly in like 15 years.
I don't think I've
No,
ever.
I was like trying to remember like what it's like to play Monopoly.
I don't think
and
I've
really
ever
haven't.
played Monopoly.
It's usually like 2.5 hours long and ends with the table getting flipped.
Okay, that's my grandmother playing board games. We were just
Yeah,
talking
she
about
goes
this
nuts.
earlier.
She goes
She
nuts.
gets mad. My grandmother has actually decided when we go over there and play board games. Evan was there. She won't play because she doesn't like when we play board games in front of her. Like, we'll play Sorry, and my family's like, "Oh, you know, hey, sorry that I'm doing this to you on the board game or whatever." And she threw her napkin in the middle one time. She was like, "Stop fucking apologizing." She literally flipped
It's
the
called
board one
Sorry.
time. I'm not even kidding. She flipped the board one time and walked out.
She's a character.
She is.
She's a special woman.
She's a great woman, but a very angry board game player.
Yeah.
Listen, board games are serious business.
Are they?
Yes.
Apparently. I guess
Have you
I
not
don't
seen that
understand.
Seinfeld episode? Where
Probably
they play
not.
Risk?
We don't watch Seinfeld.
Oh, you should watch Seinfeld. It's actually kind of funny
I-
sometimes.
Have seen Seinfeld in my like 3 a.m. stupors. You know, waking up at like 12 years old and looking at the TV and Seinfeld is on.
It's to like so the only experience I really have with Seinfeld is watching it with my parents.
Bethany? Oh.
And my parents also watch like 2.5 Men. So
Oh, they do watch a lot, like
I
old
have-
reruns of 2.5
I
Men.
have both of those things grouped together in my mind, and they're the same level of comedy, and I don't like either.
Interesting.
But
It's sort of like how I one time ate a bad hot dog, and then I was like, oh, I guess I don't like these kinds of hot dogs anymore.
yeah. Just hot dogs in general, or like
No, just Cam.
Cam?
That's a brand of hot dog.
Red
Oh,
Snappers, though.
Kayem. Yeah. Yeah,
Which is unfortunate because they're good
so
hot
speaking
dog.
of hot dogs, we bought some hot dogs recently.
I
They
don't
were red
actually
snappers.
remember this.
They were red
Don't forget me.
snappers,
They were,
and
oh,
they were god fucking awful.
Yep.
North Carolina does not have
They
good
were-
red snappers.
These were like
That's the main thing.
these were like
guess.
BBC red snappers. They were big boys, like big honkers, and we boiled them, so they were even bigger.
I've got some the colossal dogs that are like that big.
Rip the.
What do you even put those in?
Okay,
roll? Wait.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They'll rip your buns apart.
And your butthole.
Yeah, they'll rip your.
Okay.
You gotta work from the normal hot dogs.
They'll rip your buns apart if you put it in there.
You gotta start with little sausages.
You gotta freeze them first.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll just mash.
Yeah. Nobody likes mashed buns. So.
Unless you're in a hot dog eating competition.
So coming from Maine, right? Like we have really good red snappers here.
Yep.
Like they're
sort of one of our things.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, North Carolina does not do it better.
I can imagine.
It was bad. Like they were just flavorless. And
what does North Carolina do better?
Pepsi.
Racism.
Pepsi.
Oh.
Racism is real. Yeah.
Dude. Okay. So straight up,
It's
maybe
real.
it's because I'm from Maine. Obviously, like the whole privilege thing, I totally get it. I've never met such an outwardly racist group of people until I moved to North Carolina.
Yeah, I think it's because we don't have enough like other people. It's mostly just white people, so we don't know
have
how
enough
to
diversity.
be racist.
So
I had I think 3 people of color all throughout my school
I think that
years.
I knew like 4 of them. I knew 4
Them.
people who weren't white, and 3 of them were siblings.
Yeah.
so there's no diversity. So like I've never like had to like deal with it.
Yeah,
And then I moved down to North Carolina.
You're not dealing with anything.
Okay.
They're just people.
you've never
Callie.
witnessed
No.
it.
I've never dealt with people being racist, though, is what I'm
yeah,
saying.
Okay.
You've never had to
And-
deal with people lower than you. Is what you're. Is the claim you're making.
No! This is gonna be such a.
Yeah, this was a risky topic.
It was a risky topic,
we were just talking about red snappers.
I
Well,
don't
I guess
know
it's
how we got
James's
here.
fault. It's James's fault.
Listen, I've had some alcohol. I don't know how we got to this tangent, but like I've never heard such brazenly like just straight up racist shit come out of people's mouth until I moved down to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Like it just was
Imagine
shocking.
how it is in like Georgia.
Oh my god, it's got to be so much worse.
Yeah, we're barely halfway down the
Barely.
U.S.
And it's just such a weird state to be racist in.
It really is.
It is so diverse in North Carolina. Why would you even be there if you're racist? That's one of the worst states to
Dude,
be in.
I feel like racist people don't move, do they? They just like
I
stay
don't
where they
know.
are forever.
Kinda.
Do you know
yeah.
any? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess we're the exceptions, right?
Exceptions?
We're the exceptions, right?
Yeah,
We're racist and we move.
because you
It's
move.
like-
yeah.
Yeah.
We did move.
Yeah.
We did move. But
There weren't enough people up here for you to hate.
I think we should clarify.
yeah.
Disclaimer.
No, I
Kelly
just
and I are
like
not racist, probably.
Probably.
Intentionally. Not
As-
intentionally
I am
racist.
as
Exactly.
unracist as I can be as a white person. I
Right.
feel like I try. But
You're one of those
Try to be
non-straights, so
racist?
you're doing better than some.
I am not. Yeah, my non-straightness gives me privilege.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know, man. I've never heard just slurs
yeah.
being
Oh,
used.
it's bad, yeah.
Like, I don't know, man.
I think you've had a completely different experience in North
I've had
Carolina
a very.
than I have.
I had to quit my corporate job that I won't name.
Yep.
Um,
I'm aware of this.
specifically because everybody in the town we were living in is just the rudest people I've
Yeah.
ever fucking met in my life. I literally had to call the cops on like 3 customers.
Yep.
In the month I was down there. And like my last week down there, a customer, I'm a dog groomer, by the way, a customer threw a leash in my face and the metal bit hit me in the eyeball.
Yep.
And I was just like, I was so mad. And she was like, you know, I didn't mean to do that. You know, I didn't. I was like, go.
And why did you do it?
Go. And she wouldn't leave until I started dialing the like number for the cops. Like, and so I ended up quitting 2 months in.
Yep. I mean, that's as far as reasons to quit go. That's not a bad
I
one.
had some guy like he didn't
Well,
actually punch the
I
wall.
think-
He did one of those like fake things where
I think
he
it's
was,
important-
like
I
fake
think-
punching the wall.
I think it's important to clarify that you weren't only at this job for 2 months. This
You
was
were
a job.
at the
this
job
is-
for several years.
You
and
were
then moved
at
to
that
this
specific
location.
location for 2 months.
I was at this specific. I worked there for over 4.5 years,
Yep.
and I liked it.
Right.
It was a good job, and then I
So,
moved down here down to North Carolina for a month.
To kind of bolster like what you're trying to say about how shitty North Carolina is, like it really is like so shitty that it made you quit a 5-year job in less than 2 months.
Yeah, I had like extra vacation time coming too, and I was like, nah. But him, I would literally come home crying from work.
Yeah.
And he'd walk in with like a bag of candy. And he was like, oh, some lady at Dollar General gave this to me just for the heck of it because she was nice. And I would cry more. I was like, why are people so nice to you down here?
I guess I won't disclose the company that I work for either.
Don't, yeah.
But let's just say that my job involves me in going into people's houses.
Mm-hmm.
You can say you're a cable man.
And
legally you go into people's houses.
I legally go in. Yeah, it depends.
Well, there are some stories.
Sometimes you go back of people's houses.
Yeah, I have a couple.
Legal.
You should tell
really
that one
stories.
from your coworker. So Evan does cable for a specific company, and his coworker had to go back to fix something, and he went into the house to fix it. And then found out it wasn't the correct house.
Right.
There you go.
So he had two numbers. They were, to be fair, the house that he went into was a previous client.
Okay.
But
he
it
just
was,
happened
it was
to have
the
broken
wrong,
internet.
It was the wrong client. So, yeah. And yeah, somehow also the internet was broken when he went in there. So like he ended up just fixing this person's internet.
Nice.
But it wasn't the right one. So. But yeah, so my job involves going into people's houses, basically, and installing...
Where's little foot booties?
Internet and cable, yeah, I got little shoe covers and all that, because I don't get dirty on any other place than my shoes, ever.
Apparently.
But, what was the plot here?
I couldn't tell you.
Callie was mad that you got people were nice to you.
Yes, so...
Oh, yeah, this
she would come home and she'd be like, oh, like, I had the worst day, like, I met 10 terrible people and, like, they all called me, like, a white bitch or something, right? Like, they said I was sassy or something.
No,
like, I don't know.
I won't get into that story.
I'm just trying to come up with examples, but...
Yeah.
I would come home and exactly what she said, I would get, like, tipped in candy, like, I would come home with like $70 in my pocket, but like I would come home with all these stories of like super nice, genuine people that I was meeting like every day. Like I would have like 10 or 12 interactions with people that were just like totally normal and happy and like see you later, you know, shake hands kind of thing. But
no, he'd come home and be like, oh yeah, this customer wants us to go out to lunch with them this day, and I'm like, exactly.
No. Can I explain it? I think I have a brain blast here of why this is happening.
Women bad.
Women are bad. I agree. No, here's my theory. So you go to people where they're at home. Normal people, it sounds like in North Carolina,
they don't want you to murder them.
Also that, but they don't leave their home because they're afraid of all the people who go outside.
Yeah.
Which is who she has to deal with, who are absolute lunatics.
They don't want to be told they neglect their dog. That's exactly what it is. Nobody in our town of North Carolina takes care of their goddamn dog, dude. And if you're listening and you're from that town, fight me.
It sounds like they keep trying, and then you quit.
They did try to fight me.
It would be pretty wild if this ended up back in North Carolina. So, for reference of this place too, when I lived, am I allowed to say towns on here? I don't know why I wouldn't be able to.
I mean, you can if you want people to know where you live.
I don't live there anymore.
Okay.
When I worked in Scarborough, I would be making like $300 a week in tips, you know, and pretty normal, I guess, in my industry. When I moved down to Burlington, I made $30 the entire 2 months I was there.
Yeah.
Like, it was just...
It's weird down there.
But then I just went to a different salon, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Like,
that worked
it was
really
totally
well.
Fine.
That worked out really well.
It was... Okay. Well, I'm not there anymore. But...
I've only had, like, the experiences that you're describing, not so much the experiences, because I don't break into people's houses or whatever.
It's consensual.
Fair. Sometimes.
Most of the time.
It's role-playing, mostly.
Consensual.
You did go to that sorority house.
I did.
Consensual non-consent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've had, like, I think I can list off in the 4 years I was working in service, like, maybe 5 incidents that would come. Probably not even anywhere close to, like, one time I used to cut things for people. And...
What things?
things.
Like,
I don't want to specify.
Is this about the produce section
probably
at
cheese.
Hannaford?
It's probably
I
cheese.
have to bleep that.
Oh shit!
Because Jordan still works there, and everybody knows that we used to work
shit.
together.
Bleep, bleep.
Yeah.
So I would cut things.
So like,
Things.
30 seconds of the
to a
podcast
specific
gone.
weight.
Right. Okay.
And one time somebody came up and said, I would like this thing cut to 1.5 pounds. And I said, okay, I can do that. And I cut it. It was like 1.56 or something. Like, it was pretty close because I was kind of good
but
at my
it's
job.
over, and that's what's
Right,
important.
so she's gonna have to spend an extra 4 cents or something.
That wasn't the issue. Usually, like, I say, do you want it a little bit more or a little bit less? Like, which would you prefer?
Right.
And people usually say, like, oh, I'd rather have a little more because
Because you're not squeezing out molecules of this thing.
right. So they were. I waited up. I was like, is that okay? Because I can like cut some off or like add a piece. I'll cut a different piece or whatever. And the guy's like, what are you? He like lost his shit. He was like, I asked for 1/2 pound, and they just stormed off. And I was like, okay. And then the guy like stepped behind him, stepped up and was like, I thought that guy asked for 1.5 pounds. And I was like, I did too. And he's like, well, I'll take 1.5 pounds.
1/2 pound,
There
maybe.
you go.
Yeah.
But also, like, why? Customer service is so weird. Like, why wouldn't he just like be like, "Can you only give me 1/2 pound?"
Yeah,
of
like,
whatever
oh,
that is?
I meant
Like,
1/2
can you
pound.
take the other pound off
Yeah.
and give it to
like,
somebody else?
Nothing is ever that serious.
It really
Also-
isn't.
Like, so I've been bartending for about a month and a half, and it's crazy how seriously people take going to restaurants. It doesn't
It's
it's not
crazy.
even that serious.
So
Like,
seriously,
oh my god, it's like so cold in here. Can we move? Put a sweater on?
dude, you're in a public place.
Like, what
This
do you
isn't
do?
your
Like,
house.
oh my god, it's taking an extra 2 minutes. Then you play. Oh no,
Yeah.
nothing's that serious. I'm here until midnight.
Yeah.
Like,
I've
calm
never
down.
had an issue at a restaurant where it was like, I need to talk to your manager.
No,
Because if it's like it takes an extra 5 minutes than what I was expecting, I don't really care.
So I have
yeah,
very recently.
The only time
very recently.
that I've had an experience like that.
Which
when I went out with friends the other day.
oh, I was thinking about the egg on the burger that one time.
I'm constantly thinking about that, but that was not what I was thinking about.
Okay. Well,
Wait,
you go
depends on
first.
which egg scenario, the cold egg or the pepper egg.
Yes.
Oh my word.
So this was. We went to what was it?
Oh wait, you were there. This isn't actually what
No.
I was thinking of.
What fucking egg are you talking about?
Oh, are you talking about when we went to
Yes.
my uncle's?
Yes.
And the egg thing. That wasn't even like
The egg was not cooked at
No.
all. It was made of jelly.
okay. There wasn't. It was not even like the bottom of it wasn't even like there.
It was literally
It was
just.
like they cracked
It
an
was
egg
like
on top of
it
the
was
burger.
mucus. It was mucus on
They
my
still
burger.
charged him for it too.
They charged me for the egg, and then they gave me a second egg that wasn't any more cooked.
It was very
Interesting.
weird. It was like just cooked enough to get it on a plate.
But it's like, so they gave me a raw egg on my burger, which, depending on whether you're Rocky Balboa or not, is a health hazard, right?
to confirm, he is not.
I am not Rocky Balboa.
I think it was a health hazard for him, but
Take
he was so
notes.
strong that he could fight it off.
This is
Right.
true. Evan's not that strong.
You can't run up those stairs?
I could probably
No.
run up the stairs, but
No.
Apparently they don't like people running up them because people trip and like
if I
fall
ate
and
the,
hit their face.
but I'd have to eat the
Yeah.
egg after I ran up the stairs.
I think you're supposed to do
Are
it
you supposed
before.
to, you're
That's
supposed
what
to
I'm
eat it
saying.
before.
But if I ate it before, I wouldn't be able to run up the stairs because I have food poisoning.
Your
You're
immune
throwing
system
up.
would, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Well, yeah. So you got mad.
I got pretty mad, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like, they didn't replace my burger, so it just had egg mucus all over it.
Yeah, that would be an issue.
And then they just
Yeah.
brought me another egg. So I just had raw egg all over
Well,
my
then
burger with
what did
actually
he try
cooked
to say?
egg.
He was like, "Oh yeah,
afterwards.
that's a over easy egg," and you were like, "No, it's
Dude.
not. I like over easy
Like-
eggs. This is a raw egg."
Like-
And he was like, "Well, that's how it's cooked," and we were like, "No."
It's like when you pick up the bun, it was just like stuck to both the top and
Right.
the bottom. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
you
it-
get that like web
the
as you pull it apart.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah.
It's gross. I don't know if I've ordered an egg on a burger since.
I've never ordered an egg on a burger.
You should
don't know.
sometime. It is. It
It's-
is
doesn't
good.
sound like a
It's
flavor
fine.
combination that I would
It-
The
enjoy.
So-
restaurant I was working at has a really good egg burger.
You have to pepper the fuck out of the egg to make it work on a burger.
Hmm.
Because if it's not peppered,
not according to that one customer with the pepper egg. Which I actually can't tell this story. You're talking about now. I actually can't tell the story because it would make you think differently about restaurant workers. But
listen, I already think that they're below me. That's why you're a tip.
You don't work there anymore.
No, I don't work there anymore, and I will never work in a restaurant again. But
I want to clarify, I do tip. I was just making a joke.
No, that's fine. I don't know if I feel like this is not popular. I don't feel like I'll get hate comments for this.
Okay, thank you. I mean, you won't get anything because
this is going to be the most popular episode now.
One of our episodes has 240 views on YouTube.
I had no choice but to do this. So the restaurant I worked at, we had an egg burger with like an egg on it. You could choose to get it over hard, over easy. This specific customer asked for it over hard, and we were like, "Oh, okay, do what we normally fucking do." Mm-hmm. Peppered the egg, gave it to him. Whatever. I come to check back on the table, and the guy's wife is like, "I don't know what you guys fried this in, but it's like super brown, and I think the fryer oil is bad." And I was like, "That's not how eggs are cooked.
That's not how you cook eggs."
No, you
I was like,
it into the deep
I was
fryer.
like, no,
it was
the
whole shell in there.
It was made on a griddle. That's just the cooked bit. The brown bit is cooked. You asked for it over hard, and they were like, "No, it's whatever old fryer oil. Can you just remake this?" And I was like, "It's 9:00 at night. I don't know what you think new oil, quote unquote, is gonna be in there, but sure." So I go to the kitchen. I was like, "This bitch wants you to not brown it," and they were like, "So she wants it runny?" No.
I mean,
so. And she complained about the black bits, which is pepper.
You want a boiled egg.
I understand where she's coming from because you can steam an egg. You can cook it at a lower temperature.
This is not a restaurant that you.
So it's basically hard boiled, but like
right.
This is not. This ain't the restaurant.
I know. You can poach an egg until it's cooked all the way through.
I'm just saying that in her head, I understand where the train got off the station.
I don't, and so.
She's wrong.
She jumped on the tracks, dude. She's not at the station anymore.
This is like a 20 top table too, so they already had all their food. Right. So I have them remake this egg. I was like, no pepper. Try to make it as white as possible while making it over hard. Whatever.
To exemplify the fact that North Carolina is racist. No black specks on my egg. Whitest egg.
Why don't you take that yellow bit out too? I don't want any of that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyways,
only egg whites.
I was like, give me the egg back, and I'm looking at the egg, and I'm like, it still has brown edges because it's cooked over hard.
Yeah.
They didn't put pepper on it. I was like, bring it to the lady. I was like, so this is the most uncooked cooked egg we can give you, and she's like, I don't want those brown bits, and I was like, okay. I go back, I look at the egg, and I put gloves on. And I
start peeling the
I peel the brown bits off her egg.
Yep. That's what I would do.
I put it back on the plate and I bring it to her and she went, "See, I knew you could do it." Oh, and I just watched her eat that and I was like, I shouldn't have worn gloves.
You could have gotten like even more devious and like used like white nail polish to cover up the black specks.
Where am I getting white nail polish?
Your waitresses.
I would have.
You think we carry nail? How sexist?
You don't. What is that? You're telling me nobody there has nail polish?
Waitresses carry nail polish on them at work. What the fuck does that even mean?
I carry nail polish on me at work.
Who does that?
I get yelled at for carrying lotion with me for my hands because my hands get dry.
I carry deodorant at work.
Listen,
because
I'm sorry if that was offensive.
I
don't think it was, but also I guess it's not for me to decide.
I think the issue is you said waitresses instead of waitstaff.
No, it's the fact that like, why would anybody be carrying nail polish on them in a restaurant? You think I keep that in my friggin' apron?
A handbag, like out back.
No one. I don't know a single person that would carry nail polish on them.
I've met people who carry nail polish.
You're an actual liar.
I'm not.
Why do you guys have purses?
To keep all my money in. What do you do with yours?
Cheese balls.
No, and my waitress apron goes...
It's not in your apron.
What do you mean?
It's just out back where you have all your like your regular...
No, you don't keep anything in there because I'm afraid the cooks
purse.
are going to go through my purse and steal from me.
Well, in your car.
You don't keep stuff in your car in North Carolina?
Are you telling me you don't have deodorant in your purse?
I have deodorant in my waitress apron.
I know you
carry
have
hair ties.
Chick-fil-A sauce in your purse, and you don't have a fucking nail polish.
Could you actually not mention Chick-fil-A because now gay people are gonna be mad at me?
We already determined that you're.
Yeah, but now I'm gonna be hated.
Dude, no, you're like the glue. You are the bridge between the gay population and Chick-fil-A.
No, I just really like their sauce.
You can just buy their sauce at
I do.
store.
That's the
and
sauce
she keeps
I have
it in her purse.
Okay. I thought you meant like you went to Chick-fil-A,
That too.
bought food, and then threw it
She,
away. And
she
just
has
kept
the little
sauce.
containers in there as well.
No.
The little
Listen, it's
dipping
fine
packets.
to eat a Chick-fil-A.
It
It's
really
fine
is.
because everybody's trash.
You don't think gay people have ever worked at Chick-fil-A?
No,
Also,
I mean they
apparently-
do. I know gay people who have worked. It doesn't make. I'm not doing this.
I think all of Maine. Somebody told me one time the Maine's Chick-fil-A's, which I guess we have more than one, is
Bangor
like,
and Portland.
I've
Technically
never been,
Westbrook.
Westbrook, yeah.
but he was like, yeah, it's run by like that group of Chick-fil-A is run by a gay couple, and I was like,
Yeah, the
I
one
don't
in.
care.
That's the biggest fuck you. And
Well,
I
the
love
one
it.
in Westbrook. This is what I was told. I don't actually know if it's true. I was told that a gay couple owns the Chick-fil-A in Westbrook.
That kind of just backs up James' story, doesn't it?
Yes, I might have been the person that told you that. I don't know.
I know you weren't. It was somebody I work with,
Okay, so it probably is
and
true.
I would never work with a woman.
But
So.
I don't. But yeah. So I don't listen.
It's okay to shop at Home Depot, even though they're horrible.
You should just go to Lowe's.
Listen,
Oh
you
wait,
should
you
go
had
to
a
Lowe's.
bad.
I did have a
at
bad
Lowe's.
experience at Lowe's. But here's what I will say about Lowe's. The fucking aisle numbers are in order. Imagine that. You go to Home Depot and you look for aisle 18, and you find aisle 17, aisle 19.
It's like behind
and
aisle
it's
7.
like fucking on the other side of the store. It's like a subsection of aisle 1. Why
Yeah.
would it be over there? I fucking hate Home Depot. I don't
Yeah.
even care about how they support Donald Trump or whatever. Fucking put the signs in order.
So, I had a similar experience with Walmart in North Carolina. So most Walmarts have like at least the same premise, or it's like flipped
Right.
around or something. And I was just trying to find like the cat section because your girl was struggling one week and just
It's
needed
exactly the
some
same as the one in Augusta.
some cheap. No, I'm talking about the second one in Burlington that has the metal detectors.
I haven't been to that one yet.
Okay,
That's the one that people
so-
get shot at.
No, the one we go to is the one people get shot at.
The one
I
without
went.
metal detectors.
Yes.
That's how they get
That
them
makes
in.
sense, yeah, I guess.
And
There's a correlation causation sort of deal going on here.
so I went to that Walmart because someone told me, they were like, if you want to drive the extra 10 minutes, it's a better Walmart. And I was like, I don't really care, but I was in the area and
Right.
I need cat food. So I'm just like, cat food. It's like, it's near the cosmetics. It's near the garden center. That's where they keep the pet section.
Sure. I don't ever shop at Walmart, so I
I
wouldn't know.
walked around the front of this Walmart for at least 30 fucking minutes. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go up and down every aisle. I'm gonna find the cat food. I got 3 cats, they starving. And I did it, and I got to the back of the store, and it was in between 2 different shoe sections.
Yeah.
Like there was men's shoes, cat food, women's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
What the actual fuck, dude?
So that when the cat tears up your shoe, you can go buy a new shoe, and then you remember, oh, I need cat food.
I was so mad. I spent so long in this Walmart. It doesn't make any sense. And I don't even know if there's aisle numbers in Walmart.
I think there are.
Are there? I've
know.
never looked up in a Walmart.
I feel like we just see
I
like
think they're on the floor too.
chips and paper products. Like I don't look at the numbers really.
Well, the grocery section definitely has aisle numbers.
I just like, what's the point of aisle numbers?
They tell you what's in the aisle.
Yeah, but what if it just told you what was in the aisle?
Well, here's the thing. It's so
They
that
do.
when some dipshit comes up to you and you work there, and
It's
they
in
say,
the aisle that says chips.
They can look up and be like, it's that one.
you can be like, oh, it's the giant. You see the giant number 7 with the word bread under
But
it?
they
just go there.
That was literally me when I worked in an aquatic section for a store.
Here's
They'd be like,
I'm gonna continue bitching about aisle numbers after you're done this.
well, they'd be like, oh, which filter goes in this one? And I'd flip them all around and be like, this one says this one. You could have done this yourself.
Yeah.
That was the only.
So side tangent, my brother has called me twice and texted me once.
About?
Which I know I'm admitting to using my phone during a podcast, which I don't know if that's terrible or not.
We actually have to curb stomp you.
That's fine. That's my kink, so.
It's an interesting kink. I feel like you could only do that once.
Well, it's
maybe twice.
It's light curb stomp play.
Depends on how many teeth you got. You get dentures.
LCP is what we call it.
You know, in the community.
What did he text you?
So he and
Can you say this?
what's her face
I can bleep anything.
broke up.
Okay, I'm not actually.
I already knew that was coming. We both already.
I'm
knew
not
that was
putting
coming.
some things on the internet.
Okay. Anyway, so he's
Tonight?
He wants to know if we want to hang out with a
No.
new girl, which is
No,
a
I
girl
don't.
that he's already been with before.
No, is that the one who crashed his car?
Yes.
Just gonna stare at the camera.
This is actually a great story.
It
but
is.
We won't get into it.
Yeah, I don't know, like how deep we want to get into like your guest lies, but anyway,
No, I don't.
you don't want to. Okay,
Well, now it's on air.
it is. Yeah. Anyway, it's my brother's endeavors. Like it's his problems to deal with. I don't really feel like we need to be involved.
Let's focus on this and then eating dinner.
Pizza is coming up quick.
Yes.
For sure.
So my complaint about
What's your
numbers.
aisle number complaint?
Oh yeah.
Let me disclose a little something. We got a couple grocery stores in the area. I don't want to name them all. The shittiest one by far is Shaw's. By
Can
far.
we say that name on air?
Is
Okay.
that
I can and am.
so? Is that not?
Actually, I'm gonna quickly disagree with you.
I disagree with that as well.
Like big grocery stores.
But like Shaw's does this like cheesy risotto, like from their name brand thing that is.
It's all Kroger. Like I don't. Why? How is Shaw's any different than the other one?
I don't know what Kroger is.
It's it's like store brand, but not Shaw's store brand. I think, what is it, like Sam's Club? Or Walmart or whoever.
Hannaford and Sam's Club are both Kroger.
Interesting.
I've actually-
Or Sam's Club is actually the same as Walmart.
Actually,
Yes,
every
'cause they're
time
the
I've
same.
been in a
Hannaford and
Shaw's,
Shaw's are the same.
no,
They are.
Hannaford and
Harris Teeter is also the same thing.
and Food Lion are the same.
Yes.
Hannaford and Shaw's are owned by the same people.
Anyway,
We have.
to disagree.
Don't you usually have somebody that looks up things like this?
yeah.
Where's Ashley?
She
I've
didn't come.
never met her, but hi.
Hello,
She's not
Ashley.
gonna listen to
I'm
this.
doing your
Definitely
job.
Actually,
not.
she might. She listened to all of the episodes before she came on. So anyway, Shaw's sucks, and let me tell you why. Specifically, Shaw's in Augusta. You walk into Shaw's, and you think to yourself, "I need some flour,"
I've never thought that, but continue.
and you would think flour being one of arguably the most important of the baking ingredients
I've never used it, but continue.
would be, you probably have,
I don't bake from scratch.
would probably be on the little drop down menu. So you got like water, juice, whatever.
Oh, it's definitely like a list. It's a listed item for sure. Like it should
You'd
be
think,
on
right?
it. It
You'd
should be
think.
on there.
You
It
walk
should-
up and
the
down
baking
Shaw's,
section.
it's just not there.
They're a baking only company.
They don't have a sign that says flour in that store. On the aisle number signs, it doesn't say it.
Maybe that's why they're all closing down.
Because they suck. So then you walk up and down the store, as you described, and then you think, well, I'm going to go with a Hail Mary, and I'm going to assume that it's in with the oil, because you also use oil to bake.
Baking aisle, yeah.
Well, there's not a sign that says baking aisle. It's like oil and like sugar. Well, sugar wasn't on the list anyway.
Hannaford says like baking needs or
Yeah.
something.
It does, but that's also for like pots and pans and stuff.
Okay.
It was like oil and salt and like herbs and spices. That's what was listed. So it wasn't even like sugar, baking supplies. It was just like random shit. And I thought, use oil to bake sometimes. Let's see if it's down there. It was
Good
just
bet.
in the middle of that aisle.
That's actually that's so fucking weird.
Why? It's flour.
I will say though,
Also, if you walk down the liquor section, like every single bottle on the edge, the whole shelf is full, and every single bottle is like halfway off.
Dude, in North Carolina, you can't buy liquor in grocery stores.
Yeah, you have to go to a.
You have to go to a liquor store.
Yeah,
so
not on a Sunday.
Update on who owns Hannaford and Shaw's.
Bill.
Hannaford is owned by
Jack Hannaford.
Ahold Delhaize Group, which is a Netherlands company. Apparently, even though it was founded in Portland.
You mean Hannaford's?
Hannaford's, yeah. Portland, Maine.
In Portland, Maine.
By the Netherlands.
Augusta.
By the Netherlands people. Yeah. Shaw's is owned by Albertsons, which is part of Kroger. So I went.
Well, who owns Food Lion?
Delhaize. Food Lion and Hannaford like merged.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I missed that.
And allegedly the Hannaford standards had to drop way down in order to incorporate Food Lion.
On kind of a tangent, I came across a Reddit article saying, who's better, Shaw's or Hannaford? I'm new to Maine.
It's Shaw's, isn't it?
The top comment is, I always see more MILFs in Hannaford, so they get my vote.
I would agree with that. Yeah. That's a good reason they're shopping there.
I will say, though, every time we've been to Shaw's, I've been pleasantly surprised. I feel like nobody goes to Shaw's, so it's like a safe place to go.
Is so dirty.
I don't know if I agree with that.
It's disgusting.
Wait,
that entire
this
mall
Shaw's,
up there is
maybe
gross.
it's because
bad.
Maybe this is a bad thing actually, but they are the only place that has a ripe avocados, like ready to smash avocados.
No.
Like, I don't know if that's a bad thing or not, because they've been sitting out all day.
That's not true. Also,
every time I've needed an avocado,
someone who had to used to my job was to fondle the avocados. I can tell you that many of them are ripe.
This Hannaford by the Circle never has a fucking ripe avocado.
That's the other one.
You're literally talking to a professional avocado fondler.
Yeah. It's because nobody else wanted to do it.
I don't know why there's even two Hannafords in Augusta, but
because it's better.
It's weird. They're not even that far away from each other. Let's be clear here.
On the same post, they also stated that Hannaford has more regularly low prices.
Yes.
But Shaw's has better sales.
Because they're closing down.
They're not. That was just the ones in Portland that happened to.
That was a great day for us.
But also, they never really closed, did they? They just kind of got rid of all their stock.
We actually don't know.
We should.
Did they Kmart it where they were closing for like 5 years?
Exactly. I think that's exactly what they did. I remember that for so long, being able to go in there and getting like candy, like bulk candy for like 50 cents.
Awesome.
I will say, I don't know if this is still true, but Shaw's was the only place, I say this a lot whenever we go to Walmart, was the only place that you can find Boston cream toaster strudels for a long time.
I think we need to call in the Boston cream toaster strudel fondler expert. On this, because
that's me.
You were wrong about the avocados as well.
I've actually never been wrong about an avocado.
It's been proven by the expert.
No.
You blindfold me, you give me 2 avocados, I'll give them a little fondle, I'll tell you which one's ripe.
And which one's from Hannaford.
Totally fine. But
feel for the sticker.
I guess you might.
Also,
you might
like I said,
that.
Shaw's has a great cheesy rice risotto thing.
I'm pretty sure that's at Hannaford too.
It's literally not. We've looked for it. You're wrong.
Okay.
Listen,
that's fine.
Here's the thing.
I can be wrong.
Beer is across the board cheaper at Hannaford.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I don't even know if Shaw's even have beer.
Yes.
I've never went to Shaw's thinking, let's get fucking lit. I'm like, let's get cheesy risotto and Boston cream toaster strudels.
If you go to Shaw's, you can get the limited edition Jaws beer.
So, who do you think has the best grocery store name? Because I think Hannaford's and Shaw's are both shitty names.
It used to be Shop and Save.
Shop and Save was better, I thought, but it's also very like generic kind of white person kind of thing.
I think Food Lion is the best name, but the worst grocery store.
Food Lion is weird.
I like Target. I know it's not a grocery store
really
per se.
Not. You can't grocery shop at Target.
Not at
That's
regular
not
Targets,
true.
but at like the super Target
you
can.
really can't.
Why wouldn't
though.
you be
They
able
have
to?
such a small grocery section.
Super Target. Where
First
it's like
time I saw
4 layers.
a Super Target, I had wine that day, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's wild. It's like going into a city.
It really is.
Because there's like 4 levels. You can get an elevator.
This Target,
I don't like Target.
You can't grocery shop
like
at
the name,
Target.
though.
The thing is,
no, I agree. Target.
if you are at Target and you need something,
literally,
it did.
If you are at Target and you need something,
And they got that dog.
they have it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But you don't go there with a list of things you need.
My mom used to do that all the time.
She spent so much on groceries.
No, groceries actually aren't that different from
I
Target
don't
to like.
know, because they've got like that good cheese, but that cheese is so expensive and they don't have any other cheap cheeses.
Good cheese.
Can I name the cheese?
Sure.
Tillamook.
I'm gonna put
Tillamook
that.
is everywhere.
I don't see it anywhere else. What do you mean?
It's in the dairy section of every major grocery store.
Then why do we get Kraft Philadelphia constantly?
I don't eat that, so you should ask yourself.
You sure do, because you go through an entire bag of tater tots in a week.
No, that's true. That's true.
Okay.
I just wish he wouldn't
Okay.
comment on grocery shopping because he literally doesn't know anything about it.
I feel like to like the average person that doesn't like spruce up their tater tots, like that's very kind of left
Cheese
field.
and bacon?
Yeah, now we know that we were talking about cheese and bacon, but like you just compared tater tots to cheese. You went from cheese to
I'm
tater.
gonna be honest. I just assumed that I was missing something and was ready to move on.
Yeah.
We can move on.
So I
tater
put
tots,
cheese
really.
and cheese
His
and bacon
tater
on my
tot
tater tots. I don't
consumption
know.
isn't
It's
relevant
not
in this
crazy.
podcast.
It's like
not
putting
that
cheese
high.
and bacon on French fries.
Yeah, it's not weird.
Yeah.
No, it's just a loaded
get
tater
it.
tot. You can put some like ranch. You can put some like Chick-fil-A sauce. Like you can.
It's
Justify buying the Chick-fil-A sauce,
Yeah.
supporting the anti-gay
Yep.
rhetoric.
Yeah, every time I buy Chick-fil-A sauce, I'll donate to a
I've seen it.
a gay
I've seen
thing.
it. A gay thing. Yep.
For every Chick-fil-A sauce I buy, I will buy 3 drinks at a gay bar.
For yourself.
Yeah, but I give them the money. I'll tip extra.
You'll give them some Chick-fil-A sauce.
I'll give them
So
some
they
Chick-fil-A
don't have to
sauce.
support it,
Exactly.
but they can receive the benefits of the
Exactly.
delicious sauce.
I'm marrying straight, so I have to, give back to the community.
Right. You're a straight icon. You're showing the gays it's okay to be straight.
Imagine.
It is. It's okay. Just be who you are,
No,
It's
you need to
okay.
conform.
If you're straight, you can come out,
I wish I wasn't straight.
I think it'd be a lot easier.
Shocking.
It'd be a lot easier, I think.
I think most people have thought that.
My mother, until very, very recently, just assumed.
A person I hadn't met
Never met.
until very recently.
Oh, you've met my mother.
Yes,
When did you meet my mother?
when we were doing your wedding thing.
Oh, when we were touring the venue.
And then we went to 99 and ate some dry ass chicken tenders.
so-
You sure did.
I don't know if we need to clarify, but James is our wedding photographer
yeah,
as well as
I need
friend.
to buy a new lens.
Well, he's also a man of honor.
Am I?
Man of honor.
Mansman. Wait.
Groomsman.
A groomsman.
Bridesman.
A bridesman. Yeah.
Yes, bridesman.
Yeah.
That's me.
That's okay. I mean, you can, you don't have to play the same team the whole time. Like you can, be a bridesman and a groomsman.
Oh.
I'm
If
excited
you want
by.
You can just stand in the middle if you
Oh,
want.
okay. First off, I've known James since high school, so if you could not try to swipe my
Me and James are besties now, so it
bridesman,
sucks.
just because you're friends on Snapchat now doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
My favorite little thing when we toured that venue, which we're no longer using.
Was it the joke I made?
No,
Oh,
it
okay.
was when
That was a
very
bad joke.
casually,
Unlikely.
very casually, somebody was just like, "Oh yeah, well you guys are up here getting ready," and then like looked at me and were like getting photos taken. I was like, "Oh, you want me to be in the room with all the women getting dressed?"
That's probably
That's
my dad.
honestly
That sounds
so
like something my dad
non-threatening.
would just like.
No, it was just like it wasn't a thing that had gone through my
Well-
brain. Like it makes sense why I would be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, it was
I
just
just-
wasn't
I
something that
don't-
mentally I was prepared to
Right.
accept was going to happen.
I didn't think that. I don't know. I don't find that threatening. We literally slept in a hotel room
No, it's not
together in
threatening.
our underwear.
Well, you made me take my pants off.
No. I said
I
you're
don't know.
wearing boxers. You don't have to wear your jeans to bed. No one fucking cares.
No.
I'm wearing men's boxers. You can
so
wear
she
men's
yells
boxers.
at me about this all the time as
What
well
I
because
said
I like to
was-
have shorts, or I don't.
Your shorts are the same length as your underwear. Pick one.
I don't
I
know.
was just annoyed that I'd spent so much time preparing for the trip and I'd forgotten my pajamas.
Aw. Who fucking cares? Men's boxers are just shorts.
Also, you didn't
should
know
you
that I
should
was
try to
wearing boxers.
crochet boxers for every man on the planet,
That would
so
be
they
so
never
sweaty.
have to wear shorts
So
or
sweaty.
jeans or anything
So
again.
sweaty.
They should just
or
wear.
just shorts with a ball hammock.
Why do people wear 2 pairs of pants? I
So
don't
I-
get it.
It would just, it's not that it was threatening to me. It's not like, ooh, girls. It was more just like a thing that I hadn't considered. and was suddenly just like, oh, that's a thing that is happening, I guess.
I didn't really think it was, I don't know. I guess I didn't hear that comment. I didn't really think much. It didn't strike me weird when you said it. I don't know.
It's not weird. It's like a totally normal thing for a photographer to be in that environment.
Yeah.
It was just
and then, like the men's
I
getting
guess
ready.
I'm in a room full of a bunch of women getting dressed. It's just an experience I've never experienced before, Callie.
Yeah.
Well,
usually they're getting undressed when I'm in the room.
Right, I'm so sure.
They also usually don't know I'm there.
With the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
no,
that's what the hole is for in the wall.
Yeah.
No, that'd be totally fine. No, I remember in high school, maybe it was, I don't remember if it was high school. You wore that like gay pride Rooster Teeth shirt.
Yeah, I did.
And everyone was like, oh, that makes sense. And I was like, no, he's not. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, he's just supportive. And they're like, oh, yeah.
I wore that shirt to the, Bino's about to tip over. I wore that shirt to get my wisdom teeth out. And the surgeon came in, and he's a pretty cool guy. Pretty hot too. I don't think he still works there though. Probably not single either.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But he came in and he was looking at my shirt and he's like, "Don't say anything. I want to figure this out."
Uh-oh.
And I was like, "Okay."
It is teeth related.
And he was sort of looking at it and he was like,
I don't get it.
He was like, "How does this is it like a cock and mouth situation?" And I was like, "No."
Kind of.
I mean,
cock mouth, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so I don't watch Rooster Teeth. So
yeah, I don't either anymore.
I don't know what it
We used to
is.
have posters
What is
in
it?
this
All of
apartment.
these.
They're
They're,
still posters.
Yeah, I do. I have to replace all of these.
Rooster Teeth is definitely cock and mouth.
Yeah, cock mouth.
I've literally
They're a
never
media
seen.
production company.
I've-
They make
Is it
videos
those
and
guys?
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never
So it's-
seen
it's the
I've
guy
never
that you
seen
have
a video by them. So I don't.
The dick's all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
That makes sense.
I stopped watching them due to reasons.
Yeah.
I can explain it after.
That's okay.
So were you aware that you named your cat your cat shares a name with a gas reduction medication?
You know, that wasn't the reason, and I've never needed to take that medication, but yes, I'm aware of the medication.
Okay. Because
That's the first thing he said when we found out about your cat.
that's the first thing I thought about. I don't know why.
I named him after Alan Bean, who was the fourth person to walk on the moon, because his nickname was Beano.
Okay.
Well, we
And
have
I was in the
a
60s, so...
we have a
Yeah.
beans.
We do have beans.
Which you named after Beano was the thing, so... Copyright
Right.
infringement.
Actually, you want to know why we named our cat Beans?
Because you didn't like the 15 other names I gave you that you said were all really good and then didn't
Yep.
pick?
That's
Yeah, I do that a lot.
exactly what happened. I think we named him about 8 times before we actually came
Well,
to the
I
name.
like the name because I had a customer at work one time. Her dog.
Congratulations.
I know it happens sometimes.
Next thing you're going to say
Her
is that you've seen a girl
dog.
naked in real life.
It's happened.
Brag about it.
um.
Excluding yourself.
Oh well.
Wow.
So I had this customer at work. Her dog was like super all over the place, super hyper. It was like a poodle or something. I don't fucking know. It was like
Makes sense.
a little tiny poodle. I was super excited. And she was like, I don't know. I tried to take her to the beach and get some of those beans out of her, but she just won't let those beans out.
Yeah.
She said she's so full of beans.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's a great phrase. I love that phrase. She's full of beans. So that was like the thing for a while.
Had you never heard that expression before?
No.
Never.
Give her the beans?
No, that's still
Definitely
it's not the same thing.
I
though.
definitely
At least
haven't heard
The
that.
context is different. Like
But she was like, yeah, she's just all full of beans.
full of beans.
So
You went full beans on that one, huh?
technically Beans'
Give her the
name.
beans.
Yeah. No, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Technically though, Beans' name is Bean Sprout. And then when he got bigger, he became Beanstalk.
Okay.
First name Lima.
Lima.
All right.
Yeah.
But that's why we named him Beans, is because he was so full of beans. It's all over the place.
He's pretty wild.
Beans, he was pretty wild.
He's chilled
Now
out.
it's risotto. That's a problem.
Runs in the family.
They are blood siblings.
That's why I said that.
Yeah. If you want another cat, by
Nope.
the way,
People know way
I
too
drunkenly
much about
picked
our
up a
cats.
cat at a gas station on Thanksgiving.
I saw.
I did. His name is Cranberries.
Yep.
He's a good guy.
He's a great guy. He just an asshole.
I think he's in a fine place right now.
No, he's just a baby.
He's not that young.
He is that young.
He looked pretty normal sized for a cat.
He was 6 to 7 months old. He was small.
It's not a baby.
He was smaller than beans and soup, but he was bigger than risotto. And he had full testicles.
There you go.
Which means he's at least 6 months old, but he's definitely not more than like 8 months old.
Cat testicle fondler expert.
First off, I groom cats. I just listen, I've held more cat testicles than I care to admit. But that is for the pure fact that I groom cats.
Why are you holding their testicles?
You have to move stuff.
You
I
just
shave
like
their
grab on and that's where you
buttholes.
hang. You just like pick them up and hang them by the testicles.
I think we're talking about the other type of grooming.
Stop it. No, I have to lift their tails and sometimes move their testicles.
Right?
It's a thing. I have held more dog testicles than I could ever count.
It's
the number of dogs times two. So you feel
on average.
No, actually, some dogs, their testicles don't descend.
But they still have.
Well, you would reach up.
They might have one. We had this dog. We called him the One Nut Wonder.
I thought you were gonna call him Hitler.
No.
Did Hitler only have one nut?
Allegedly. I don't know if it's true, but that's the
Lance
rumor.
Armstrong is Hitler.
Well, this golden retriever's name was Sam,
dude,
and we
both
called
did
him.
Crazy cover, dude.
And landed on the moon.
What a fit guy. Just cheating his way around the system the whole time. Anyway.
Nice Lance Armstrong reference. For all you kids out there.
Live strong. Unless you're...
Did you guys hear about the Liver King? This is old news.
What?
Yes.
What?
Do you know who the Liver King is, Callie?
The Liver King?
Yeah. He's a super shredded guy. I think he's on like TikTok.
I don't know where he comes from. I heard about him through Reddit.
I heard about him through a Danny Gonzalez video. He's basically like this super shredded guy who's like, you gotta eat like raw liver like a caveman. You gotta lie on a hardwood floor.
Yeah.
No seasoning?
He seasons it too. I
don't
think.
know.
But he makes videos of himself like chopping up raw meats and eating it, basically.
Yeah, he's like, you gotta live like a caveman. You gotta pick up big rocks.
He's
okay,
like,
hear me out. What if he didn't do
imagine like Jason Momoa. Like, I don't think he's an attractive dude, but imagine like Jason Momoa.
You don't think Jason Momoa is attractive?
No, that's not what I was saying. I know that's kind of how it sounded in the phrase.
Hate comments immediately.
All right, Jason Momoa.
Don't bring Evan back.
Jason Momoa is a beautiful man.
He is.
Dude, he touched my shoulder one time.
Anyway. Let's move past that.
Let's not.
Anyway,
that's not important.
Which shoulder? Which shoulder?
I was dressed as Ginny Weasley.
Yeah. I've seen photos. Anyway, back to the Liver King.
So imagine like Jason Momoa's body type, except a little bulkier, like buffer.
That's too much.
I'm gonna show you a picture of the Liver King.
But yeah, he just makes like
you sure that's
like
not
Salt
steroids?
Bay videos. Like, you know how like he just like always has his raw meat out on the table? It's exactly like that, except he eats it.
Well, that's just called tartar. Tartar, right?
Tartar.
Tartar?
Yeah, but it's liver.
That's not even a good beard.
No, he's a weird looking guy, but like you wonder why his face is so red, right?
Because he's angry. No.
And
so
why is he angry?
He would just do like, you gotta carry heavy weights around with you and like drag them and make weird noises, whatever. And it was like this whole weird like, you know, put your cell phone in a Faraday cage so the 5G don't get into your
live
brain.
naturally kind of guy.
Yeah, and then
There's nothing natural about.
Well, and then like last month it came out that he's just been doing like $11,000 worth of steroids every month.
I literally just said that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that tracks.
And then everybody's like, bro, what the fuck? You said that you live naturally. And he's like, well, nobody asked me if I did steroids.
Steroids are natural.
So it's not actually.
I mean, they
wasn't
come
lying
from
to
somewhere.
anybody.
Yeah.
Chemicals are
God
natural.
made steroids.
God made
Just like
chemicals.
he made Viagra.
Yeah.
But he didn't make abortion, and that's why it can't happen.
True.
Dude, he made limp dicks so people could profit off Viagra. It's actually pretty insane.
Capitalism.
What a guy.
What a guy.
And the guy is correct, because it is a man.
Obviously.
Only a man would be in charge of the universe.
Yeah. Well,
That would explain why it's the way it is.
yeah.
Your 75% of an opinion doesn't matter.
He could be bisexual.
He's not, though.
Do you think God is
Straight
bisexual?
as an arrow.
He's asexual.
No, he fucks.
God
okay?
fucks.
God fucks.
But only pussy.
Fucks.
That's no.
Only pussy.
That's why Mary got pregnant, because she was hot as fuck. I can't wait to offend
That's pretty
so
insane.
many people who
Yeah,
I know listen to
getting there.
this.
No.
We're getting there. That's for sure.
It was about 1,999 years and 9 months ago. About when that happened.
I literally
It must have been
don't
before
know.
that, surely.
Well, it's because
Shirley?
Jesus was born 2,000 years ago. Well, it would be in 2001 then, because time was. Sure, I don't.
Well,
you know what I'm trying to say.
So I
was born
actually-
in like the
I was actually-
200s.
I was actually thinking about this earlier. I remember there being a distinction between AD and BC, not because I think the way they were taught, it was taught in school, was before Christ and
Before
after
Christ.
death.
But that's not.
I never
True.
heard after death. That's so fucking morbid.
Right.
Okay.
But what does it mean?
I
It
don't
means
know.
after Christ died.
It's something in Latin, I think. It is definitely not that.
So AD means exactly what you thought it meant?
What does?
No, I didn't know what AD meant.
AD?
So what did you think it meant?
If you say it's after death and then BC is before Christ, I would assume there was so before Christ and then Christ died.
Imagine
and then it's
like
all...
your entire calendar year
went to
being
church.
based off that. Just like some dude
Actually,
who nobody knows.
I got banned from church, but
Shocking.
Yeah.
I've never been.
I was 12.
My jaw is on the floor right now.
I was 12 and I got banned from church.
Do you want to know what AD actually stands for?
Yes.
Stands for the Latin phrase Anno Domini, the year of our Lord.
So that's when he was born.
Sure. I guess. Which makes sense because there's not like a 35-year gap between BC and AD.
That makes more sense because I was like, is that the 1 year he like died?
That was,
Like-
But it is totally insane that our entire year is based around that, right?
so
It
is
didn't
our
used
government.
to
What do you mean it didn't used to be?
be.
They must have started exactly when they started counting, right?
No, there were different
Like 180.
versions of the calendar.
Yeah, there's a
and
lot of
stuff.
different
And
versions.
then they just kept changing it, and then they added leap years in because some shit got fucked up because they
that
miscounted.
one kid from high school is only like 5 years old.
So,
His name's Duncan.
so do we know?
I'm gonna have to bleep that.
His last name was
I'm not gonna say
That.
that. 'cause I
Also
don't wanna-
Duncan. His name was
no,
Duncan.
his first
Duncan.
name was not
He was
Duncan.
a yo-yo.
Duncan.
You used to blur so much from this.
Duncan.
Bleep out.
It's okay. I've got an extra week. We're good.
I'm helping him also, so it's okay.
Are you?
Yeah.
Anyways, shout out to him. He's only 5 years old,
Yeah.
but they let him in the army.
Did they?
Yes, he's in the
What?
army.
I thought he worked
He's
at.
in Germany.
I thought he worked at Regal Cinemas.
He's only-
That's
He's only 5 years old.
No,
yes.
I have seen him
oh no,
there
he's
before.
also. No, the one you're. No, he's in the army.
He wasn't like 6 months ago when I saw him at
He
Regal
might
Cinemas.
be no
working
longer in
there.
the army, but he
He's
definitely
also worked there for like 4 years because every time I
Listen,
went to go in and see
I
a
am-
movie, I would see his face because I recognize him because
I
we went
remember
to
when
school
he got
together.
deployed,
Okay,
and I know his family's been posting on his Facebook like, "Oh my god, miss you."
are
He
you sure
might
this
be
is a real
back.
person that you're thinking of?
High school doesn't feel real.
Because I'm 85% sure that that dude is not in the army.
I will literally pull up his army photo.
I hope you do, and I hope it's just some other guy.
It's just some
Me
other guy.
too.
He's just
'cause,
like
like-
black. He's just some completely different guy.
No, this guy is not black.
We should probably end the podcast before we start talking about people.
We should.
Should we?
I'm gonna play.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm
I
thinking
knew
of
it.
this guy, not this guy.
Yeah, that was.
This guy.
Let's go on the
I'm
record
playing
that
the-
Callie is wrong.
And
But I
writing it.
admit it.